is the year 2005. The treacherous Decepticons have conquered the Autobots' home planet of Cybertron. Cybertrons! Of Cybertron. Cybertrons! Of Cybertron. Of Cybertrons! 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 Cybertrons! Of Cybertron. Cybertrons! Of Cybertron.
We now return you to the Children of Primus.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah. This is one of those taking photos kind of nights. So half of my face is going to be blowing out like I'm wearing a Phantom of the Opera mask for a big chunk of the stream. So enjoy my illumination.
Cool. How's everyone doing for another Frenzy Freestyle Sunday?
I'm in the midst of taking these shelves down to rearrange them. So I like really quickly put up 3 guys I hadn't put away yet there, so it wouldn't be empty behind me. Yeah, I'm grabbing photos.
Cool, Mr. Magnus. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Did everybody do their cleaning, their spring cleaning after last week's?
I got a comic book box yesterday to organize my comics rather than have them all in piles assorted around my room.
Yeah. I only ever needed to buy one long box for like a few cents, and I still haven't filled it up. So that's where I'm at with that.
I think I got in Virginia, I got like 4 of them at my dad's house up here. I've had one for a while, since like maybe before COVID. And then a big part of why I had not caught up on reading is because I just kind of get them on all these piles, like on my desk, on the table, and then I was like, where's those issues that I need to start, that I stopped at reading, so-and-so book. So
yeah, so where I'm at. Transformers number 6, I believe it was, came out last week. I have it. I have not read it yet. I have not had time to read it yet.
The Energon stuff I'm pretty much caught up on, or at least I know where it readily is. Like, I think the only thing I haven't read is Void Rivals.
Yeah, I got
read
the
Cobra
newest one of
Commander
that sitting
3.
there,
I
too.
like that. Cobra Commander, man, in the comics, these comics, he's a mean motherfucker.
Oh yeah,
As he should be.
He played some head games with the alligator people, they're called.
Floridians.
Yeah. Whatever it is, this guy they're like trying to torture him, and he's just like, ha ha ha. He just sits chilling, and they can't get his mask off. So they start, okay, let's try to settle a approach, and they like paint on his mask. And then he finally, when he starts talking, he starts saying, oh, you're just like the blonde guy with the ponytail. He's like, you're not even related to him by blood. You're just a wannabe. He's a former teacher that tries too hard, being like the rest of these that were born into it. Then the other guy's like, your sister doesn't trust you. She's trying to keep all the power and never let you move up in the ranks, and she's just playing head games with everybody. And the girl that's in charge, Zara or whatever, she's like, what the hell did you tell my bros?
Damn.
And then all hell breaks loose when his bodyguard, the guy with the big wings, he finally reveals like who he is. Like some guy from the move from Cobra Law, and he's just like, I need to see Cobra Commander just on the last page, just standing there watching as the other guy. You could just all panels must be ripping people's arms off or something.
Does Cobra Commander still have a bomb in his helmet like in Marvel, you think, so nobody can take it off because it'll explode?
Yeah, I think it shocked him when they tried to remove it. And yeah, I think it's up to issue 3.
Well, I never knew about that detail because I didn't follow G.I. Joe that closely, but that's a detail I didn't know about.
I think it was in Marvel. It was in the Scioli Transformers G.I. Joe thing, and that takes heavily from Marvel. So
interesting.
As bad as the movie was,
and I go grab something.
the one thing that I liked about it was that Dr. Mindbender became Cobra Commander.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So, at the end of it, he put the mask on. They took the breathing apparatus off and put the mask on and became Cobra Commander. And I thought that was a really cool spin that they did on it.
Yeah, you're talking about Rise of Cobra, right, from 2009.
Oh, there is a fan thing going on right now that I kind of jumped down this rabbit hole, and man, as much as I hate the Bayverse movies, I mean absolutely despise them, there's this fan thing going on right now about Bumblebee being a defector from the Decepticons.
Interesting.
And it's I mean, everything is there for it, and I was like, I could get on board with this, and I would really love to see something else put out for it. But Bumblebee is one of the only Autobots that we've seen that actually morphs his weapons
From his
body.
arms. Yeah.
All the other Autobots have handhelds.
Well, I think
All the Decepticons have where they morph out, where they morph
Interesting.
into their body. And that's why whenever during the Bumblebee movie when Blitzwing rips his voice box out, he says, "Now then, traitor, you'll never be able to talk again." And they keep calling him traitor.
Yeah.
Now it could be because he's part of the resistance, and that's another one of the things the rabbit holes that I went down. But Bumblebee is a warrior in this, and there are no Autobot warriors.
Yeah,
All
I could
the warriors were
incorporate that.
Decepticons. Yeah, all the warriors were Decepticons. And that's why whenever Bumblebee gets into the fight and the mask comes down over his head, his eyes turn red like a Decepticon.
Yeah. I mean, this would explain his streak of unusual viciousness, though
Right.
Optimus Prime also shared that, but
This is the last page. I won't give up what the surprise is, who his bodyguard reveals to be. I'll find a panel where the bodyguard, before he changes, he sheds his fake skin off. Well, you'll see him like on this page shedding it off at the bottom. But he's this bearded guy. But I won't show the page where you see which Cobra Law movie character he is. But the Dreadnoks, that's what their names are. And then Zara, I forgot a syllable.
Zartan, Zorana.
Yeah, something like that.
Vandar.
But yeah, the electric.
Buzzsaw, Torch.
Yeah, the mask. They try to move it. Zap. They do. Yeah, like what Mr. Magnus was saying. Torch.
What comic are we looking at here?
Oh, Cobra Commander.
Cobra Commander. So yeah, the Torch. They try like burning his skin. It basically, it's like that one scene from the '80s Scarface where they're just trying to torture him. The one guy gets his chainsaw against him, and he's just like, nope, doesn't care. He's just dead cold silent. They start painting on his face. It's like maybe they need a subtle approach. And they approach, and then after that, it's the fun part when he starts trash talking them all. It's like pits them against each other, and Satara's like, "What the hell have you told them?"
Yeah, Cobra Commander's really taken advantage of the fact that they're allowed to be violent in this.
Why not? Let's catch up on the comments. Professor D says, "Nice gag for the thumbnail." And it says, "Man, I forgot that we paid less than $1 for these comics when they were on the stand. I was thinking that our parents, but no, we also used to buy things for pennies." I do remember. I think I remember they were like less than $1 or something like that when I used to get them back.
80s,
yeah, because this was like 80s, or at least not $5, at least maybe $1.50 or something like that.
I think in the 90s they were like $1.25, $1.50.
Yep. And James Comer says, "Hey guys, I checked out Transformers #6 with the Devastator cover, and the story was slamming booyah with 3 letters ECW. So I guess that's as much as we're going to say about it." Shiba Kobe says, "Sup gang, I got the TFTM reissue G1 kickback for 3 whole Canadian dollars at Wally this past week. I love that it comes with 6 little rubbery Energon cubes."
I didn't go in on those guys because they weren't worth what they were charging, but for $3, I would absolutely get one if I saw one for $3.
That is crazy. Yeah. Professor D says, "Hey James, yeah, wow, I still have great memories of reading that issue when it first came out. Those panels were burnt into my brain at an early age." And James Coleman says, "Good to hear from you, Professor D." And Shiva Kobe says, "That thing, whatever that is besides Sedum Bach Arts, looks like he's sitting at the top of a stairwell."
Yep.
And Professor D says that Shiba Kobe, "Good. That's how we know he's not one of the people under the stairs."
You're firmly above them.
Yeah. And Shiba Kobe says, "Kickback was on ultra clearance, regular price $44."
Yeah, $44 Canadian for a G1 kickback. I was like, no, I don't care if he comes with some Energon cubes.
And good evening, Mr. Toy Warp.
Hey, what's going on? I got the thing about the comics. The last comic I think I bought, I've got here. It says $1.75. Let me check the year. Yeah, I don't remember buying them for less than $1.
Those were the days, eh?
Those were the days.
I sure wish that had been my environment. They're doing this whole thing now where they're relaunching like Marvel Ultimate, and a lot of it sounds like it's really interesting. So I started reading the new Spider-Man, and then
I know you picked up the Spider-Man. I picked up the one with that Peach Momoko's doing the art for, the X-Men one, but I hadn't read it yet. But she's been doing a lot of the Demon's Days one-shot, so...
Yeah, so like, I know they're doing X-Men, they're doing Black Panther, but I'm like, I don't have the cash to go in on all these. I'm just going to stick to Spider-Man because of the cover prices.
Always Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Disney has relaunched the X-Men cartoon from when we were teenagers.
To me, my X-Men.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
X-Men,
Cyclops
X-Men
blasting
97.
as he's landing from the crack shot up
Watch
Blackbird.
the first 2 episodes. I'm in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, like, the trailers didn't impress, but everything I've heard once it actually came out has been that it was better than people thought it was going to be based on those first looks.
I do find it interesting that in all the trailers, because I think most of the cast, other than Jubilee, return, and I find it interesting that they don't have her talk in any of the trailers. Because I guess they figured that would put a bad taste in people's mouths. Like, oh, why did you not get her back, but everyone else you did?
I mean, my assumption with voice actors is just that they cut costs, because if animation is a real spendthrift environment, and veteran voice actors probably demand a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it wasn't even that from my understanding.
Disney has such a hard time coming up with money. Yeah.
Well, it's like most of the voice cast they kept from the original show. Jubilee they changed because she was like voiced by a Canadian white woman originally. It's like, oh, you would have never knew she was Asian. It's like, have you looked at Jubilee? But all right.
Yeah, I had my reservations
but they
about
changed
it
the voice actor to be racially matched, and it's like, it's called acting for a reason.
Yeah, I had my reservations about it because Disney fired the producer / writer.
I read about that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Right after they pretty much right after they announced it, which they announced it at the same time that Madam Web come out. And because Madam Web's a Fox property, Disney had to compensate, and to show all the Disney stuff that was going to be coming out this year. So they showed, X-Men 97, which they own that Fox property, but they showed a couple other things that they were doing. And like right after they did that, they fired the guy running the whole thing, which happens to be a gay black guy. And I'm wondering how Disney got away with that.
Well,
I think it's something like he posted shirtless pictures of himself, well, also with promo materials, and it's like people are like, "Yeah, knowing Disney, they like you to keep they want you to have that Puritan presentation to the world, regardless if you're straight, gay, young, old, whatever." But yeah, I can get the whole. I'm not saying I necessarily think I think it's overkill, but it's like you're gonna see X-Men characters like Gambit topless in the show. I mean, like, get real.
Well, and I mean, plus the ongoing joke I think about Rogue, where they've kind of slimmed her rear. Yeah, and I'm like, why was that such an important? I mean, we never focused on it, when it came out when we were kids. Like, why is that a huge focus now?
I saw me before I came on like Facebook earlier, and they had it. They showed that
focused on it.
They showed the clip from the original '90s cartoon of Rogue when she grabs Miss Marvel from back, Carol Danvers Miss Marvel, not Kamala Khan Miss Marvel, and then they cut, and then on the side they have the picture that they also use a lot in the Carol Danvers compared to Tom Holland's asses meme.
What?
But they had the Carol Danvers actress where she's just flat butt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it makes sense now.
Brie Larson.
Yeah, Brie Larson. I couldn't remember her name.
Marvel discourse always tires me. It's mostly just people looking for things to be mad about, in my experience.
Pretty much.
This is why I don't invest in it anymore beyond like my Spider-Mans. Nobody's ever mad at Spider-Man.
No. I mean,
except for Jameson.
He lives like 7 different lives simultaneously. But if anyone wants to join a Discord where people are not mad and upset about everything, they can join the Children of Primus Discord. Yeah, discord.childrenofprimus.com.
Yeah.
And Freakenstein says, "What up, bots? What's up,
Freakenstein?
How you doing?"
I'm trying not to fall down the Marvel hole. That's what I'm doing.
Well, before we get to the main topic, we'll quickly go through some news. And Freakenstein says they actually did a good job and fixed some things in X-Men. So I know if I have time, I will check it out, because time and adulthood sometimes doesn't always work together.
Oh yeah, I just I watch one TV show at a time because that's all I got time for.
Exactly. Like if I have time, I'll go through a series, and then that's it. I'm not touching a TV again for like months or even a year, because I don't have time for it. But let's go over to some of the news.
Who was it that was looking at buying the Shockwave today or yesterday?
It was me at RetroCon today. I had never seen one, but there's 2 things that threw me off on the box. It was the cut on the top of the flap was a little weird. What just didn't seem what I'm used to looking at. I'm not even too sure what I'm used to looking at, but it wasn't what I was used to looking at. And the UPC looked weird. Now the guy said it was a reissue, but I'm sitting there wondering, like, when the hell did they reissue Shockwave?
Didn't happen. Ever.
It was like 3 years ago. But I sent the pictures are on our thing, Spin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I sent if you want to bring those up. I bought that for Pete, my tech guy who sets all this computer stuff up for me, because that's one of his favorite characters, and he said it was one of the pieces he never had when he was a kid. And so I was just looking online, and I found them on eBay, and I want to say that they were around $60.
Yeah, I don't think the guy today was asking much more than that. But I was thinking, well, if they never reissued it, the box looks kind of funky. But I mean, I could take $60 as a gamble to get a box Shockwave, But
yeah,
I
mean, that's one of those things where, like, even if it's a bootleg, $60 for a bootleg of Shockwave that looks like that is not bad on its own.
Not in my collection.
Not in your collection, maybe.
Not bad at all. But there's one of the images.
Now, the other image is the back, and what I noticed, too, was Ravage's head wasn't cut off like it is on all the other reissues. So then I'm really looking at this thing like, man, is this thing real? I mean, does this guy not know what he's got? Do I not know what I'm looking at? What the heck's going on? I was like guessing my entire existence today looking at this thing.
Having an existential crisis at RetroCon.
And I actually want to look into this now too and find out, because I got this for Pete, and I'm sure that a sealed, boxed, in this condition, Shockwave would go for
$2,000.
Somewhere around $2,000.
Yeah. As always, I'm like, check the Transformers wiki. Just like quickly Google the character and look under their toy section. It'll tell you if there was ever a reissue or not, because it would be listed there.
Well, I think the one thing I find interesting with this Shockwave box is the little number cut out right beside the tech specs. I'm surprised they would still keep that in the design.
I think all the reissues still have the robot points in them.
But I mean, they're not relevant anymore. So at least
that was the. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's not relevant anymore. But I mean, think about it. Neither's the toy. So to make it
that Timo one that I got has the robot points on it too.
So Anthony, you might want to. Believe me, I am not one to call out the mighty fear or courage on knowledge, but you said it didn't list anything on the wiki, but we're looking at it.
Reissue? Where?
On screen now.
For Pete.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. The one on screen now and the one he bought. Obviously, there's a reissue out there. Oh, and Charles sent something in the.
This is
chat.
That Temu Optimus Prime that we, picked apart, but it has robot points on it.
With robot points.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, like, it's not an official thing. It's like a fake thing.
Right.
There was never an official
Oh, I
thing.
see.
Like what Freak was saying, this, Ravage is cut off on these other boxes. And on that picture of that other one, he's not.
Right.
Yeah. So when I say reissue, I'm only talking about like official Hasbro Takara ones, not like a bootleg.
Charles C, who comes to comments and is one of our regular guests on the show, says that he was thinking it was Temu. Also, Show Z Store sold some fourth party G1 figures recently, whatever that means in English.
Fourth party is just a fancy way of saying bootlegs.
Okay.
Yeah, wasn't it like bootlegs of a knockoff something, or like a knockoff of a knockoff? Because I think Dee explained it once what fourth party technically meant.
Yeah, I guess the terms expanded, but it was when you take third party stuff and then it gets bootlegged, so it's now fourth party.
Right.
A fourth party would be like if somebody if somebody made a boot, do I have any third-party stuff around?
Well,
Like if
I mean,
somebody made
it's
a bootleg of like an Ocular Max or something.
I was thinking, like with like Nike shoes, and then someone makes like the knockoff, but then the knockoff of the knockoff is like NIK, and it's missing the E.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't the NBK Devastator be a fourth party of the Jinbao oversize?
Yeah, basically.
Hmm.
I've got them sitting out here.
Cool. Freaking Science says, I can't wait till they screw up Gargoyles live action TV show.
Are they doing a Gargoyles live action TV show?
I mean, if they do, it would be disappointing for them to mess it up, because I mean, remakes of anything is always that 95% chance they'll mess it up. And I mean, Gargoyles was a good cartoon back in the day. Freaking Stein says fourth is KON of anything, and he's answering someone's question saying yes.
Well, if they don't have Keith, if they don't have Keith David doing Goliath.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
Probably to what I said about would NBK be considered fourth party of Jinbao? Because this is the NBK long haul.
NBK, is that the one modeled after Combiner Wars?
No, this is the Jinbao oversize.
Okay.
No, my Combiners War one is still in the box. I haven't opened it.
Is that what you're saying? Oversized? Again, the old G1 guy, collector guy. Is that bigger than the Combiner War one?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
I passed that up today.
Hang on. So this is the Jinbao. He's in the cabinet.
Just waiting for.
So this is the Jinbao with the 2 upgrade kits on it.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's a monster.
Yeah.
I mean, how many inches? Because I know the Combiner War is. Okay, mine doesn't light up. Now I want that one.
Well, that's one of the upgrade kits.
How tall is he in inches? Because I think my Combiner War one's like 18 inches.
Oh no, this thing's probably close to 23, almost 24.
Oh, holy crap!
He's. Let me get something I can convert.
Freaking size. He's a beast. Actually, Magnus, are you able to get a G1 character that's accessible?
Don't ask that man stupid questions like that. Don't ask. You know what? Don't ask that man stupid questions like that, because I just got one today. I don't want to take it out of the box. I know it's going to get sucked over to Bill's house.
just hear thump.
Holy. Oh, jeez.
Okay. That's insane.
That puts it to scale. Wow. I'm kind of mad I passed that up now.
And you know what? That actually puts it to a proper scale, because, I mean, cartoon-wise, if any combiner was the size of a regular, other non-combiner, now it's like Starscream's the size of just a foot of that Devastator.
What I liked about when I first saw the oversized ones, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to own those. And I ordered not knowing what I was ordering, because I had been out of it for too long. And I ordered the NBK set. And I liked it. It was a little chintzy. The plastic was a little cheap, but it was huge.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Mixmaster was the size of the Earthrise Optimus Prime. And I was like, that's the way it should be. A cement truck and a semi should be the same size. So when they're transformed, they should be shoulder to shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you combine them, they're that much bigger. Well, then when you get the upgrade kits, he gets another like 2.5 inches taller because of the leg inserts.
Crazy.
They actually give him knees instead of him kind of bending at the waist.
Now, you guys would know, Did they make those upgrade kits for the Combiner Wars one too?
Yes, this is one of the hardest pieces to find.
Oh, great.
And if
Okay,
you can't
never
find
mind.
it, and if you can find it, people want like $400 for it.
Oh my, God, it's more than I gave for the thing.
Yep.
Well, you know what?
Jeez.
That will
Great
tie
kids
in.
speed like that.
Yeah, that will tie into our main topic when we get to it in a few minutes, which, Fear of Courage, I'm going to throw it onto you for a bit, as we have some news for our website, childrenofprimus.com, where they have Renegade Game Studios Transformers Robo Rally board game official images and information.
Why are you throwing it on to me?
You're,
Okay.
you're the one who knows about who knows more than we do at times.
Yeah, but I don't know everything about everything.
Quit lying.
You're not Primus himself in human form?
Now, the best I can manage is Perceptor sometimes. Perceptor on a bad day.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's a board game. They're making a board game. That's about all I actually know about it. It's really odd that they put Flame War on the cover of all things. Well, odd and interesting because you have her next to Optimus and Blur and stuff.
Let's see.
Yeah.
That's a bit
And
more
that's
than
one of the Stunticons underneath of Prime's arm, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'm noticing
Yeah.
that.
that's drag strip.
You know,
Yeah.
and a funky looking blur on the left there.
And I'm wondering, like, Robo Rally, does it have something to do with racing? Because wow,
That's my assumption.
piqued my interest.
Yeah, there you go.
It's by Avalon Hill, which is the guys that make Hero Quest, I think.
Okay. Well, let's go to the next bit of news. Legacy Cybertron Metroplex with DNA design, drill bit, and upgrades review.
Oh, yeah. See, speaking of upgrade kits.
And actually, there's no images for that one. So let me...
Yeah, Gary Chalk's coming to TFCon Toronto 2024.
the voices of Optimus Primal and Beast Wars and Beast Machines, as well as Optimus Prime and Transformers Armada, Energon, and Cybertron.
Yeah, nobody asked him why he wasn't in Rise of the Beasts. He'd probably be very bitter about that.
You know, someone's going to ask him.
Yeah. I wonder if he'll just get it out of the way right at the start of whatever panel he does.
This is true. And oops, let me go over to the next tab.
I'm not a Beast Wars guy, and I think he got screwed out of that.
Yeah. Like I said, they got the original Optimus Prime. It would have been great if you had the two originals doing scenes next to each other, in my opinion, you know?
And Transformers Legacy United Deluxe Gears with new stock images.
Yeah, got my order in. But I it's funny because they talked a lot about on the fan stream about how he's got the flip up chest like that because it's like the bit in changing gears that got reprogrammed.
Yes.
Meanwhile, I'm just interested in him because, you know, Marvel issue 3, which was him and Spider-Man teaming up to beat Megatron and rescue Sparkplug.
Okay. It's Transformers Legacy. So I'm guessing this character is from Hasbro.
Yeah. This is one of the guys that was unveiled on Thursday's stream.
Okay. I mean, it's surprising for Hasbro to put in that detail because third party is always the one to do that.
Yeah. The stream on Thursday was really interesting because the designers did talk about you know they took it from that specific episode. One of the most interesting things they revealed on the stream was their latest Rock Lord, Shard, the helicopter.
Oh, the helicopter.
Okay.
It's like she's like a green crystal, and they specifically said she's supposed to change into one of the green death crystals from the season 3 G1 episode Chaos.
Interesting.
Yeah, nobody had clocked that, and during the stream they're like, yeah, no, it's one of the crystals from Chaos. That's what this Rock Lord helicopter changes into.
Now,
I thought that was really interesting.
Would they ever released the roller that Soundwave had to connect with that?
I mean, They have not done that. That would be a sensible thing to do in the future. Hey, you know, there's that mysterious leader Soundwave coming that we don't know much about, and everybody assumes they're gonna release the Netflix guy with a bunch of tapes in the box. That'd be a good venue to finally put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say there's like a Doctor Wu version of that. Soundwave cassette you just alluded to.
Yeah,
Right.
the Auto Scout, I think it was called.
Right.
Yeah, it's been made in the third-party scene before. They've just never made an official one.
Mm-hmm.
The dude like that with his chest open, like, what'd you do to Gears? You made him nice.
Yeah.
He's happy. They gave him all the drugs.
And over here we got Hot Wheels Skate Transformers' first official images.
The thing that I don't get is the little shoes. Because I'm like, the skateboard on wheels I get. Like, you know,
the old tech deck things, yeah.
Yeah. But like, why do they come with small shoes?
Oh, I was going to
quick,
say.
Toy Warp, did you buy that Jim Bow oversize today?
No, I passed up not knowing what the heck it was. I thought it was Combiner Wars. Because I don't know my new stuff.
They have reissued the Jim Bow upgrade kit. You can get it right now for $52.
Ooh.
But the one for the Combiner Wars one is still...
No, for the Jim Bow.
Yeah, I passed that one up today, but I still have my Combiner Wars one, and that's the one I wanted to upgrade. Or look in to see what... I mean, I don't even know what the upgrade kit is, honestly. I've heard people talk about it, but I've never looked to see what the heck it was. Too busy spending money on the old stuff.
Well, the Hot Wheels, to answer everyone's questions, the sneakers are finger sneakers.
Oh.
Put them on your fingers, and so you can play with the skateboard.
Yeah, I don't have my glasses on. I can see that's what they're doing in the picture there.
Mm-hmm.
Your powers of observation are better than mine. That makes sense. That's kind of fun.
So just the Combiners Wars upgrade kit that has their guns is $129. And it doesn't do anything for Devastator. It's just their guns.
Boy.
Yeah, it's weird that Hot Wheels would... I mean, I know they're doing that whole collaboration thing, and I had a Murder Prime moment over it, but
yeah,
it's weird they do this. It really brings back the whole tech deck thing, and it just makes me wonder if Mattel didn't buy up whatever company tech deck was, because everything nowadays is either Hasbro or Mattel.
So the only DKO one, which is the DNA design upgrade kit for Combiners Wars Devastator, is $204.99 plus shipping.
Jeez.
I bought a G1 today for $100. I'm good.
I wish they would make even just the normal version of this guy available in Canada. This almost ties into what I'm reviewing. It's another one of those like exclusive Takara campaign things that are just clear versions. Like I'm taking photos of a little clear red Cheetor that I managed to get in a deal. Now they're doing a stealth version of Rise of the Beasts Mirage too. I forget how this was. This is some kind of exclusive, and it's a Takara only thing because they sure do love these limited run clear things.
Scroll down a little more so I can see the rest of the car.
Let's see.
Yeah. So this one was not a Porsche because this is the mainline one that was not licensed.
Yeah, it's some made up car. I was thinking that doesn't quite look like a Porsche 911.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Presumably they got restrictions and they're like, no random clear repaints, or else they just didn't want to pay the fee again. Yeah, I actually have the Studio Series one right here, which is licensed. This is the only one of the Mirages that they did for the line that changed into an actual Porsche.
Oh, that one looks nice.
Yeah. It's really difficult to transform, and one of the reasons is because Porsche had like stipulations, like you're not allowed to make the doors split or and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, like And the designers like talked about that. They're like, there's actual restrictions on how we can depict the alternate mode in toy form, so there can't be like too many cracks on it because they're like it'll make it look like the car is coming apart. Meanwhile, there's already like seams all over it anyway.
It's a
transformer.
Yeah.
Porsche's real funny about that too. In my all my sim racing game stuff, they don't like showing the Porsche with damage.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there must be a Porsche thing. I don't know. They're backwards anyway, always putting the motor on the wrong end of the car.
Fiercely protective of their brand in a way that is unbecoming of fun things.
Are they bad as Nintendo or worse than Nintendo?
I wouldn't say they're as bad as Nintendo.
They don't have an army of branded ninjas to come to your house and assassinate you if you use an emulator.
Yeah, branded ninjas being lawyers, international lawyers. Yeah,
or the Foot Clan. So as we go to our main topic, and I know I remember seeing Fear Courage's comment in.
Yeah. Did you come up with this entire topic because I had like a Murder Prime moment on Discord?
That is exactly where the topic came from. Once I saw your Murder Prime moment, I'm like, I was just thinking, from the Avengers movie where it's just like, Captain America swears in Tony's like language.
I could tell that story once we get going, I guess.
Okay, we're in it. Tell the story.
Yeah. So Origin Wheeljack, out of all the stuff that's coming up, that's probably the thing I'm most interested in. That's the Wheeljack from More Than Meets the Eye with his big van mode, part of a companion piece with Origin Jazz and Origin Bumblebee. And they made a big deal about the fact that he's a Voyager because you're going to be able to fit Origin Bumblebee here into the back of Wheeljack like in the first episode.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of it already, yeah.
Yeah. So today was the day that they officially, quote-unquote, unveiled it, even though we already knew about it for a long time. And it's a Target exclusive in the US, Toys R Us exclusive in Canada. And what they always do with these exclusives these days, try and get around distribution, is a small amount of them will go up on Hasbro Pulse for pre-order. They have a deal. They can do that before it goes to like the store exclusives. And usually what they'll do is the stream will be going. They'll be like, and it's up for pre-order now. They put it up for pre-order like really early in the morning. Now, I work from home, and this affords me certain privileges, like being able to grab pre-orders when they open. In this case, I was not at home, and by the time I got home, they were already gone. And by the time the actual stream announcing it had come out, they were already gone. So I got a little cross on the internet about it.
That's not going to stop. Oh, wait. I know how you freaking new toy guys go. So what you're saying is you're mad it got sold out because that means all the scalpers are going to be at your Toys R Us's buying them up. So you're not going to be able to get it there either. That's what you're mad about.
Yeah, and because it's like Toys R Us, and I'm guessing it's the same for Target in the US, they don't have like the kind of robust online pre-order system that you get at like Hasbro Pulse or like GameStop. They're just like, they're going to show up at some point. So not having
Walmart and Target's website interface suck.
Yeah. So like, I'm like, I just
got to wait. They made the 90s internet look great.
Oh my gosh.
I just got to wait for this guy to show up like locally now instead of just grabbing that easy pre-order. And I'm sure people are going to be scalping him because I'm sure I'm not the only person who's heavily anticipating that particular guy. So I was just like, I was just like, I missed the pre-order window. This stinks. Language. I got better pretty fast because, I try to put it all in perspective, but I'm just like, man, that was the one I was after. And now I got to fight through the exclusive Wiggler when I had an option to not have to do that,
Well, I think in one comment in one of the Facebook groups was just saying, well, if you miss out on the pre-order, then just get it when it goes to the store or get it through another website. But I'm guessing with certain exclusives, they're not available on other websites.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? If it was a mainline figure, it wouldn't matter. Like, first of all, GameStop, which in Canada is really good about pre-orders, would have it. And if they don't, you can go onto Amazon or whatnot. But here it's like, beyond that little bit of stock Hasbro Pulse had, I'm like, there's nowhere to grab it online unless it's through a reseller that'll jack the price up. So I have to just wait around until it shows up locally on shelves or makes a surprise unannounced appearance on the Toys R Us website, which sometimes happens.
RJ Eagle says, "What's up happening, gang?" RJ, good to see everyone. Looking forward to tonight's stream. Thank you for coming through once again, RJ.
Looking forward to me being crass about distribution. I'm not that guy normally, but this time I'm that guy.
You're like Amos out of The Expanse. I'm that guy.
That guy.
I just have this mental image of Anthony just as like Dave Chappelle as Rick James, and then have him on Hasbro's couch from the live stream, being like, "Yeah, Hasbro's couch." And I can't say the other word that he says.
It's like, I'm a grown man. I wouldn't mess up anybody's couch. Yeah, I messed up his couch.
Yeah, I messed up his pre-order.
I'm a Molo fan. I wouldn't be mad about distribution. So yeah, I was really mad about the distribution.
Well, I don't know if you... So go ahead.
I don't know if you've ever seen The Expanse, but they got a point in there where a guy, he convinces another guy not to kill the guy across him, but he raises the gun up and says, "I am that guy." He says, "You're not the guy, but I am that guy." He raises up, and I just pictured like the guy raising the gun up, but it's just Anthony's face.
Just crudely photoshopped.
Yeah, like crudely photoshopped on there.
Well, I'm going to throw this over to you, Toy Warp. In terms of things that you collect, that you buy and collect, even within Hot Wheels or Transformers, has there been any toys or figures or anything that, word got on the street that it's available, and as you're trying to get it, like everyone else is running and just it's unavailable?
There's not really a set value price on the vintage Transformer pinball game. I'm talking like the little tabletop thing, and it's not electronic. It just got a little ding in it. I did a video on it on the channel. Word got out that the guy auctioning stuff off, who usually just does primarily action figure, G.I. Joe, He-Man type stuff, got this Transformer stuff, and he had like the official collector shelf. He had a book bag. He had a set of the roller skates. And I was going after the shelf unit and the pinball machine. Well, or the pinball game. The pinball game, like a lot of the other stuff, just kept going up and up and up. And I'm really mad. I mean, I'm having a Murder Prime moment like Anthony, because I'm really mad at these guys. These guys are the guys who, they'll jump off the roof to get a Cobra Commander that's got a slightly different paint job on it, right? Okay, great. That's your thing. Transformers is my thing. I watch these auctions every week. The little bit of Transformer stuff that he has, like every week he gets just this little tiny bit of Transformer stuff, right? And then he's get these big, huge items. And I know it's not a Transformer crowd, but these guys are just trying to bid it up anyway. I bid this the pinball machine up, and I think I ended up paying like $750, $775 for it.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, it's boxed. It's totally complete and beautiful shape. I mean, like if you've seen the video, box, really good shape. And it's probably gradable. I mean, the box is still that good a condition. It won't have a bad bubble on there that takes it down to 50 or anything. Double Murder Prime tonight.
Yeah.
But same bit, and like Anthony's mad. A lot of those people are just resellers, so it's probably just somebody looking to keep it on a shelf for a year or so, let it collect dust, wipe it back off, and try to resell it in a year. It's a pain in the butt. I feel Anthony's pain, actually.
Yeah. Hey. The important corollary I want to add is, I'm like, the stream was at 11. It was sold out by 11. Why would they not make it for sale at 11 when the stream went up? You know what I mean?
They weren't expecting it to sell out.
I guess.
That'd be my only guess.
Yeah, but you know what? These days, I mean, in terms of people collecting and everything, wouldn't that exception be there where, you know, where there's like maybe 100 or 200 of whatever available? We'll put it on this, we'll mention it now. And wouldn't the assumption in today's market that within a few minutes, 200 of them are going to be sold out?
Yeah. I mean, it's not even like the idea behind it is they started doing this because they're sort of aware that it can be hard to grab store exclusives. So their thing is, yeah, we put a few of them up on our main Hasbro Pulse website first, like a limited amount, which would be great if people could, like, if they put them up when they said they were going to put them up.
Right. And Charlie C, how's it going?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Oh, good. I'm going to throw it on to you. Any experiences of trying to track down an item and it's like sold out basically the minute they mentioned it?
Yeah. Especially that jazz you guys are talking about. But yeah.
Origin Jazz.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I got that one. But like some of the other ones have been in the past, like I can't even think of quite a few of them. And it seems like a lot of them used to be like you could go to Target and pre-order it, or like maybe catch it on Amazon and they'll have it up for sale, or Big Bad Toy Store. And anymore, it's like they're all sold out already. So I don't know if they just didn't get that many, because I would think that, especially that jazz. I thought they said that it wasn't going to be a limited run, that everybody's going to have a chance. But
to be fair, I did eventually see it. Like, I got this one at TFCon, but I did see it in stores eventually, but it was just like many, many months later. That's why I'm trying not to be too cross, because I'm like, this will come to me eventually. This guy that I missed. I just was looking forward to skipping out on the entire having to think about looking for it and finding it thing.
You look out. It'll come to you eventually at fair market price. My vintage stuff comes to me eventually, you know, when and if it comes back around at 3 or 4 times the price that it was offered the first time.
I've seen some stuff at Walmart that had sold out, and like a year later I'd walk into Walmart and they would have it on the shelf. And I don't understand that logic, if it's just distribution or what's going on. But it's like this was sold out a year ago. Now all of a sudden it's like everywhere and shelf warming.
Yeah,
So,
I do wonder how that goes.
Like common sense is a superpower.
Yeah, well, because it's like, is this new stock? Is this old stock that they didn't put online because it was meant for physical and it took its time to get out there? I if anybody actually is in distribution and knows about this, I'd be really interested to hear how this stuff works. I've never really heard anything about it. I mean, I worked retail. Nobody knows. Nobody that actually works on the store on the storefront level knows how this works. I'll tell you one thing: we weren't keeping things in the back.
Yeah, nobody was allowed to do that.
Yeah, nobody's interested in keeping things in the back, because if we kept them in the back, you would bother us to get them out of the back like you're doing. So.
Well, RJ Eagle says, have pre-orders already sold out for 86 gears? Did you guys find it hard to get 86 Magnus and 86 Grimlock? Big Toy Store seems to have items on pre-order for a while, longer than Hasbro Pulse.
Interesting. Well, I had no problem, because everybody else that was unveiled were just normal releases, so I was able to just pre-order them on GameStop's website with like no problem. I don't even think I did it right away. I did it like that evening, and they were still available.
Wow.
Yeah, because I was debating how much stuff to reasonably get based on what I can sensibly budget. So I was taking time.
Answer to RJ Eagle. I just now, while we were streaming, pre-ordered my 2 gears, and who else did I put in there? Oh, Sandstorm. But I've been on there waiting for over a year for Evolution Core Dinobot Scar and Swoop to finish my core set. And they still haven't got any more in stock.
That's great. I guess at what point will they have any in stock?
Big Bad Toy Store doesn't charge you until it becomes stock.
Right.
So basically, you're just on a list, and how far down the list your name was, when they get some in, they'll fill that list.
So yeah, it's not a pre-order; it's just a waiting list.
Right. Well, see, this was a pre-order. I pre-ordered this before it was released, but I don't know how far down the list I am. I'm still waiting for mine.
Do they not know who you are? Just tell them to take it out of the box. You'll have it in 3 days.
Yeah, just stand on top of the building, hold it in the air like this, wait a minute, and then let go.
You'll feel the gravity. You'll feel the gravity.
Unicron will suck it in. Professor D has a question for SETTOM Bach Arts. Is that a painting you did behind you? If so, want to do a show and tell?
That's a wall scroll of The Last Exile, like show by Gonzo, mid-2000s, like a alternate post-World War One, and they fly these ships called band ships. This I did paint. Let me see if I can... Oh, yeah, you can see it. But it's actually one of the better examples of Japanese incorporating CGI into 2D animation. It's one of the better examples. Now, they might have worked on Cybertron, Galaxy Force in Japan, but that was not one of their... That was before they really got their... They really figured out how they can do it well. I think Transformers Galaxy Force, but that was from later after the Transformers Galaxy Force, Gonzo, and they had gotten where they could convincingly have CGI and 2D animation together.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, this is the Ultimate X-Men comic I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Peach Momoko. She did all the Demon Day one-shots that they would had over the last 2 years or so. And then this other book I've been pointing at, it's by the author Ram V. He's also doing this book. So his first book was called The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, and it did really well. Like, it was on a lot of the best of for whatever year it came out. And it's a writer I trust to read. So this is like his attempt at like a murder mystery, I guess, from the detective. And then there's another writer writing from the killer's perspective. So it's the one hand is by Ram V, the writer I know. The other one is by Dan Waters, which is the Six Fingers, which is from the killer's perspective. Then this, which is again by Ram V, is Dawn Runner. It's sort of, from what I can glean from it, it's dealing with like past lives, like the many deaths of Layla Starr did, and like, and then reincarnation. But at the same time, it's also dealing like an Evangelion / Pacific Rim mixed with it, the anime Tiger and Bunny, which almost kind of has like a NASCAR version of superheroes, where this seems like supposedly this the imagine a Pacific Rim or Evangelion, the battles of like the Kaiju were like televised, like a sporting events. But it's only the first issue of this, so I'm just kind of like, I was reading this earlier in the stream, and that's why I was like, when if you had me got having these like, that was because I was probably reading this.
Live comic reactions.
And yeah, these I still gotta. That's the Void Rivals, the recent most issue, the cover I grabbed. Then this is a cover on the Thundercats 2. But I don't even think I flipped through it. I just trust to be halfway decent.
RG Eagle says, I love Peach Mocha art. And I saw a nice Spider-Woman cover for her releasing soon. Just missed it.
grab my ear. Okay, where was it? She was like originally like a second or third season, that Puma girl. And here she is at the end of the second issue. I'm like, oh, okay. And apparently possessed by Mumra, from what I can infer from, I'm just flipping from the back to the front, just since I hadn't looked to it yet. And I'm like, uh-oh, what's that about? Yeah, there's a better picture of her face. Somewhere. Where is it?
Oh, yeah.
There she goes. Yeah, that
There we
chick.
go.
The one where it was like the white tiger dude, the older guy that kind of replaced Jaga, and her from later in the season.
Oh, that would be let me see, Bengali and let's see, Linkso.
Prumara was her name? Was that her name?
Promira. Yeah, Promira was the one in the later series.
That just caught me off guard. I'm like, here it is, boom. Yeah, it looks like the Mutants Finder. Hadn't read this with any context. Because you see, there's not a Thundercat feat. So, someone else got to her first. And you didn't see her at the first issue, so it's just like, okay, what am I going to be getting into when I read this finally? So,
yeah, so Shiva Kobe also says Pumira. Yes, and RJ Eagle said Buzzworthy Optimus was literally impossible to get. I'm worried about 86 Wheeljack and Swoop. Do you guys even find stuff on shelves, or do you guys buy strictly online?
That's true. I did never see Buzzworthy Optimus, but based on
Yes.
remember, based on the gigantic master leak document, but the Buzzworthy Optimus is just going to get a normal non-Buzzworthy Studio Series release in the near future. So everybody's going to get another shot at him.
Is that the Rise of the Beast one?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I ever saw that one, but movie line was weird with the stuff they would have in stock and what stuff they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because it took forever to get like the little Air Razor Battle Master.
Yeah. So here's my history with online versus in person. Pre-pandemic, I never bought anything online. I always just grabbed whatever showed up locally. It's my own way of like monitoring my purchases. Mm-hmm. Pandemic, everything changed. I started buying things online. These days, if there's something that I'm really, really after, I'll put in an order online. Like I put in an order for Legacy Silverbolt because I'm like, that's another one for the Beast Wars shelf. But most other things, I wait and see if I can see them locally. And, if I don't see them, I don't see them. Maybe I get them at TFCon. Maybe they don't come to me at all. Leave it up to fate. Though lately that's resulted in me not getting more things than getting more things.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to throw this over to the Twerp in a second, but RJ Eagle says, wow, Magnus, are your pre-orders from the back toy store that's super long for fulfillment? They usually come through in time. Or they usually come through, in time.
Right, I've gotten 2 extensions on those 2 core class ones.
What do you mean by
both of them say that they're supposed to be in March of this year, so we'll see if I get another extension.
That's what you
at
meant.
the end of
I was about to ask what the heck you meant by extension, but okay.
What core classes?
They were supposed to be Scar and Swoop. They're the last ones I need for the core series so that I can combine them.
Cool. RJ Eagle says, great to see another comic book fan. I got my Thundercats #2 as well. Come on, who doesn't love Thundercats? Did anyone get any of the Super 7 figures or Maddie Collector? You don't like Thundercats?
I don't
have anything against them. I was just never a fan. I was just never a fan because they were action figures. I was never a He-Man fan either. Action figures. The baby dolls for boys, I wasn't interested.
But the cartoon was it was good though.
There was no lasers, cars, or robots. I wasn't interested.
There was lasers in He-Man. Jeez.
Was there?
Yeah.
There's no cars. Damn it.
There was that weird walking dragon thing that I always
the skeleton.
Yeah, I always see gifs of it where it's just like.
I took with my clothes out today. I am very happy.
Shiba Kobe says, I find stuff on shelves, but every 6 months I get a friend of mine to get me something TF related, mostly from Amazon for either activation date or Criminus.
Oh, birthday or Christmas.
Grimace.
Well, RG Eagle says there was the Thunder Tank.
Yep.
Panther had the Thunder Tank.
I'm hearing, watching Thundercats from all you cat people. That's another thing. Yeah.
This was years before becoming a cat person. Remember, this is back in the 80s.
Yeah, I grew up with dogs. Cats wasn't until, I had friends' cats. I would make over friends' cats, and I could get any friend's cat to sleep on my lap and follow me around, even though I didn't live with them. But I grew up with dogs in my home, and then it wasn't until mid-2000s that I had cats of my own.
Yeah, I made over my friend's cats too. Sneezing and asthma attacks and itchy skin and nah.
It's actually their saliva that has the thing that triggers people's allergies, apparently. Which is kind of weird to think about.
No, I never got any cat slop around me, and I was allergic to them, and if I started sneezing, I'd have an asthma attack. So I was asthmatic when I was a kid. So it was deathly for me to be around them.
Well, it's mostly the fur, like the
dander.
That's exactly when you clean yourself. Because the saliva will dry in the fur and weirdness.
Mm-hmm.
Huh, I didn't know that.
I didn't choose the cat life. Cat life chose me. The cat distribution system kept throwing them in my direction.
We're talking about cats. We're talking about how you do the spawns of Satan. He's literally maybe a foot away from my feet, looking at me on the stairs like, what are you trying to say about cats, motherfucker? You make me hurt you? I'm going to slit your throat when you go to bed.
They do be like that sometimes.
This is true. So as we go around, Charlie, have you gotten any new figures for this week?
Ooh, that's a big long haul.
Yes.
Oh, big load.
Don't.
Is that the actual third-party figure's name?
Well, yeah. There we go.
It says it on
No, they didn't.
Oh no, they did not.
No lies.
Oh no.
Too easy.
Oh my god. It was really great too, as you could hear the two 12-year-olds giggling over it like schoolboys. Yeah. Oh my, that's too much.
Oh, I'm scared for what they'll name all the other characters, especially Hook.
Hook up? I don't know. One night stand?
DJ Hooker.
Prostitute? Gigolo?
Oh dear. Honestly, if we had the ability to name characters, what would we name the rest of the Constructicons? Considering, Long Haul's now called Big Load.
I saw a comic that's referred to them as it's like a repaint of Devastator, in purple and black, and it's I'll have to say this without getting the band hammered. Let's just say torture of certain body parts of men. That was the name of it, and then they have the hand. It's
Why
the
is
repaint. That? It was some comic I saw. It was a repaint of Wind Charger. That's green. Is hand job, and then there's reach around and Clip Jumper's looking at Optimus. Do you hear yourself talking when you say these robot names?
I seen that. I saw that.
I haven't.
I was rolling when I was watching that. I was like,
Anthony, you got to see it. I fell out of my chair laughing at that. Yes, that is hilarious.
It is funny. Charlie, any other reveals?
Not right now. I mean, I picked this up. It's kind of old. The G2.
Ooh.
Oh, that's nice.
I had to have it. I don't think I'll get the rest of them, but I like the colors in this.
You are not immune to Big Purple Truck.
Oh, that is nice looking.
Only thing I don't like
First
is
car
the
was
gun.
purple.
Yeah, it's interesting they would throw that there.
Well, if it's G2 colors, was that how he was colored in G2 with the red roof?
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. The Stunticons in G2 are one of those sets that have additional mystique amongst collectors because they were canceled. They never actually came out. Like, we know what they look like because a lot of prototypes came out there. We've seen what they look like plenty of times, but whenever it's time to make an exclusive repaint, nothing gets certain collectors interested more than canceled stuff. So they go to that well a lot with the Stunticons.
Makes sense. Always the Stunticons and the Constructicons.
Yeah.
RJ Eagle says, didn't the Diaclone Constructicons have generic names like Shovel and Crane?
Yeah, none of the Diaclones really had names because they were just supposed to be mechs. They just call them whatever their vehicle was.
Right.
Well, for the generic names, I think that was the dollar store version. I mean, it was literally like the same toy somehow, but it was like the dollar store version. All those guys had really simple names like that. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Diacron? There was,
yep.
Yeah, that was actually official. That's a weird little bit of trivia. For like 15 minutes before Transformers was a thing, Takara tried releasing some of their Diaclone stuff in the American market under the name of Diacron. I think they put out Sunstreaker in red, Ironhide in black, and Trailbreaker in blue. And they just had generic names. Incredibly rare nowadays, but at the time they didn't make much of a splash, and then they immediately switched over to Transformers anyway. They also put out Multiforce 14, which is a Diaclone thing that didn't get released in Transformers, so that's worth a lot of scratch if you can find it.
Okay.
It was like 14 little tiny vehicles that could combine into one big guy. Why they never brought it over in Transformers, I don't know. But
So I started reading this, and the very first text bubble, it's maybe half the size of the normal font, and Lion-O's way off in the distance. So I'm like, what the hell is that? That's why I was looking I can't see it. And then it's the next panel after that, it's normal font size. But I was like, oh my God. Maybe 6-point font, if even that.
RJ Eagle says, that's right, Anthony. I remember Diacron. Didn't know the history behind those.
Yeah, it was for a minute. I'm just about to find a photo of Multiforce 14 here. Actually, I can share a couple of photos because I think it's interesting. Transformers Wiki has an article about it too.
Well, Anthony's looking for that. I got a quick question. Today at RetroCon, I saw a bunch of I think they were knockoffs. Are they Masterpiece knockoffs? I guess is what I'm asking. But Lambor, Alert, black boxes with the Lambo brothers. And they're super detailed. What were those? Because I saw some today that didn't seem priced high enough to me.
Well, a couple of things. So those would be masterpieces, black boxed ones. I know for a fact that some of these things did not hold their value because a lot of collectors jumped ship to warforcybertron and liquidated their masterpiece collections. So I've seen boxed black box masterpiece cars go for less than $100 Canadian. There's Masterpiece Red Alert. Good figures, if you can get them for that price, absolutely. They're all really nice. But they all have licensed vehicle modes.
Yeah, I saw them for $50 and $60 a piece today, and I was really confused. Aren't those supposed to be platinum series? Yes, that's what I saw.
They weren't very expensive when they first came out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
things got worse later on because of inflation. But yeah, you could get these guys new at the time for like I don't know, like 70 Canadian bucks, something like that.
Well, it's interesting on the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say there were bootlegs, though. I don't know if those are still out there, but like they did exist. So you had to check the bottoms of the boxes because the real ones always had little holograms of the car company that made them.
Well, I was going to say with the red alert that Charlie has, again, the third party paid attention to that detail in referring to his episode where he thought everyone was chasing him.
Yeah, well, that's not third party. That's an official hashtag thing.
Oh, that one's official. Interesting.
Yeah, I used to have that masterpiece. Yeah, he did come with the little effect parts you could put on him because of the 1G1 episode.
Okay. And Professor D says, not a G2 guy, but that G2 Motormaster from XTV is nice. As are the cars. I have Wild Rider, so neon. He's almost psychedelic. Yeah,
it's a crazy set of color schemes. That's the other reason why they've stayed popular. Yeah. Let me see if my browser is going to let me share the screen here because I got a few things.
I'm tempted to buy the trailer for it, but still, the trailer itself is expensive.
Well, how much was the figure and how much is the trailer?
This I paid secondhand. It was like $100. Okay. I think I found the trailer for like $150 to $200.
Wow!
But that's basically the Motor Master shell and everything. I have like the X-Tron Transbots Motor Master itself.
Yeah.
I was like, I just want
I've seen that.
Yeah, so that is that is Multiforce 14 from Diacron. That's a Diaclone guy that they didn't bring over to Transformers. But they did when they did Diacron for a hot minute before Transformers. It's like
the power. Isn't there some Power Dashers in there?
Yeah. They did the Power Dashers. They did the Autobot cars. I think that's about it. And then they did this guy.
Well, in looking at the overall aesthetic of it, I could see why Hasbro wouldn't have brought it over because it still has that Japanese Voltron look to it as compared to everything else they brought over.
Yeah, it's space and not realistic, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, the 14 vehicles are kind of, like, really basic. You just kind of stack them together to make the guy.
Right.
Yeah, because everything else that came out in the line, let's see if it lets me share a different window. It's a new browser. Present, share screen.
RJ Eagle says there's a ton of MP car KOs out there, but they are spot on. I have a few by Takasa. Also, I had to get my MP Bumblebee version 2.0 animation look KO because the real one was too rare and pricey.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's interesting there too. The red Sunstreaker. Actually, that looks really cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Red.
All three of these guys were color schemes that they didn't use in Transformers, right? Because it's red Sunstreaker, blue Trailbreaker, and blue Trailbreaker, and black Ironhide. Yeah, and they also did the Power Dashers, but I believe they looked basically the same. Except these guys still came with their pilots as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So this was fully. You could buy this on shelves in North America before Transformers came out. They just didn't do very well. I guess because they didn't have a cartoon or a comic.
I don't recall which one of my friends it was whenever I was a kid, but he had a red Sunstreaker because I had a yellow one, and I was going, that's not right.
Yeah, there you go.
He's supposed to. What, did you spray paint him? And he's like, no, it's the way it came in the box.
Yeah, and you're just not believing them, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, RJ says
went to some secondhand store.
RJ says I have the Multiforce Diacron. He just looked too cool. I could imagine him as a Transformer, Autobot, or Decepticon. Right?
I would have characterized him as a Decepticon. Just something about his appearance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of them I think got Generation Selects releases. So the red Sunstreaker, I think was it him or his white buddy that's named Spin Out.
Yeah,
I don't remember
this
what
guy got released as Spin Out.
Then the black guy, the Black Ironhide. I feel awkward saying black guy is now. Black Ironhide. I think what DK Guard. He's nice if you get the non-nef foot upgrades.
Yeah,
Because it's the mold's mainly black. The and tinted windows are a thing. It looks more natural than, let's say, the Earthrise Ironhide and Ratchets do with that mold. The blue repaint of the Earthrise Hoist or Trail Cutter, I can't remember which one he's I didn't care for, but I'm gonna paint the Trilling Turdy figure blue to go with my red whatever his red counterpart that got a BotCon release with the Trilling Turdy mold.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, all three of these guys did get new figures recently as like exclusive repaints of like the Earthrise guys. Like, yeah, DK1 was now Spin Out, but then DK2 and DK3 they kept their names and were just DK2 Guard and DK3 Breaker. So yeah, no Multi-Force 14 though, because that would have required a new mold.
Pilot, the pilot for DK1.
Yeah.
Sold March 14th, 2024 for $149.95.
Just for the little guy? Like, yeah.
That's the little guy.
The little guy, it's like this big.
The little shoulder cannons there on the DK1, one of those sold for $40.
That's crazy.
Oof. Yeah.
And
yeah, maybe I shouldn't have made fun of that boy.
Well, as you mentioned that with because within the groups in terms of sharing this topic, one person did say that they're frustrated with trying to, or being, in a sense, they said they're being forced out of collecting older and newer figures just because the price point, things being sold out quickly, and for them it's becoming a bit depressing because Transformers was their hobby and now it's almost impossible to get certain figures they're looking for.
I mean, go to a convention. I like actually, if you can get to TFCon, go to TFCon. Usually, if I miss something, it's available there in the summer. I catch up on things I missed at that point.
Well, I mean, yes, we are going to be at TFCon this year in July 2024 in Toronto. But I mean, it does depend on the seller because there's, and I guess I don't want to badmouth anyone, but I mean, certain sellers price things in terms of like, they know people are looking for it, but then there are some sellers that sell it in a sense, well, I'm the only person that has this, so I'm going to charge you whatever I want, and you have no choice but to pay that price.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
Your guy, I was just talking to the guy I got my G1 off of today, was all panicking because there's no news yet from TFCon about them coming back to Orlando. And I was like, well, my guys that I do the podcast with up in Canada haven't gotten all that much news on their show either. Like, I don't think you guys have booked tables or anything yet, have you?
Nah, still working on it.
Working on it, but it is the plan.
So it sounds like the TFCon guys kind of work slow because, you guys have a date. I don't yet for Orlando.
Yeah, well, we just got Gary Chalk announced as a guest, so they have a guest at least.
Actually, when is the Orlando one usually?
Well, last year it was around the tail end of October.
Okay, so they'll probably, I mean, once they get through the Toronto one, and if there's any others in between, then then I guess they'll focus on the dates and everything for the Orlando one.
Weird. I mean, most of the other stuff that I, the other convention stuff that I regular, they're, 6 months to a year out. With some kind of solid schedule. They may not have a solid guest schedule until 2-3 weeks beforehand, but at least they've got a schedule of when they're going to be there.
Well, I guess one thought that comes to mind, the convention that you're mentioning, do they only have that convention annually, or do they have other branch offs of it?
I think they're going to Baltimore this year. I don't know if they're going to Orlando or not.
For the other conventions I'm talking about, they got other branches of it. It's some are toy shows, some are sports collectible shows, some are like today's RetroCon.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause I was just thinking if it's like a convention where it's a team of people and they only have it annually, then it kind of gives them a year to put it together. Whereas
this
like this
one guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this one they've got
one guy, and he's got his stuff 6 months to a year out, scheduling wise.
Okay, yeah, because I know at TFCon it's like they're scheduling like multiple cities, multiple dates, so it's I could see it being a handful of work on their end.
Yeah. Plus, what I presume is the same group of people because they always advertise each other's shows. There's a convention in the TFCon hall every few months, like a smaller one, and it's like the 80s Toy Expo or the Ontario Collectors Con or whatever they want to call it. They're basically just mini shows, and I don't know, every 3 months or so, basically.
Yep. Yeah, RJ Eagle says, Spin, that's a great point. Real collectors are missing out, unfortunately, and it seems like the scalpers are the big winners to some extent. I see this in other toy lines as well. Yeah, and it is unfortunate. It has gone that direction. And Rev Rat's Ride says, howdy, howdy, Toy Warp and Children of Primus.
What's going on, Mr. Rat?
Howdy, howdy to you as well. So as we hit 9:30 mark, we got 30 minutes left, and I think we will have a CBR moment. So I've only just found this article, so I can't tell you anything about it, but we'll see how it turns out. So let's go with.
I'm never gonna get tired of that.
No,
never.
Okay, so for the best part of this is going to be CBR's article on Transformers: 10 things that make no sense in Michael Bay films.
Okay, already it's wrong because there weren't 10 Michael Bay films. It's the whole film's wrong. I mean, that's what's wrong with the whole film's wrong.
Wow. Well, Rev Rat's Ride says, I finished my life, so I'm here now.
You're invading, eh?
Yeah, welcome.
I will say, I'm no great defender of the Michael Bay films. A lot more things in them do make sense than people seem to suggest. That does not mean that it's a quality film. But
all
right, well, let's. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just about to say, I got tired of when the first one wasn't so bad, but the rest of them started coming out and people started coming up to me like, oh, I know you're a Transformers fan, you're happy to see these, and I really enjoyed it. I just kind of looked at them like, you mouth breathing moron. No.
Yeah.
That had more to do with GoBots than it had to do with Transformers.
I remember Thu at one point saying, like, the biggest problem he had was he's like, I don't want people to think this is what I'm into.
Yes. Yep, it was embarrassing.
RJ Eagle says, CBR prices right, epic music time. Epic fail music time. Sweet. Thank you. And welcome, I am .tired.com.
Should buy that domain name. I wonder how he's feeling. Is it energized?
Yeah, I need to get some of my Energon coffee here.
But you've made it
Well,
just in time.
I've
Pretty
made it
soon-
through mine.
Hold on. Pretty soon you will find some Energon cups being sold on, childrenofprimus.com. So
This
let
is
you know.
correct.
Heads up.
This is correct. The plans are in the works. As
Yep.
we swing over to Transformers 10 Things That Make No Sense in Michael Bay's films. Once I
What are you reading from Crap Beyond Recognition site here?
There you go. That's the word I couldn't remember. That's what I couldn't remember. Thank you.
You're welcome.
In the first film, Captain
You missed
Archibald-
earlier, Lottie. I actually
What's that?
praised something. I praised something on the Michael Bay movie.
Uh-oh.
Mm.
His explosions?
I went down a whole rabbit hole this weekend. we'll get to this, and I'll talk to you about it.
Okay.
Awesome.
So number 10, in the first film, Captain Archibald Witwicky accidentally activates Megatron's navigation system, and coordinates are somehow imprinted onto Witwicky's glasses.
Because he has the touch.
I just read the paragraphs here. I don't see. Here's the thing. I don't see why that's a problem. I'm like, that's just the plot. The part that didn't make sense was how it still knew where the Allspark was after they moved it out of the Arctic and into the Hoover Dam.
Quite a few follow-up questions.
You're asking too many logical questions there.
Well, but see, you found the logic in it, but maybe the writer of this article didn't.
Mm-hmm.
No, I said
No.
Anthony's
Somebody
saying
CBR
too
didn't
many
find the
logical
logic in an article? You don't say.
Yeah, I feel like
Say it
yes,
as
you can
so,
make a map. Making a basically, they're saying that making a map is bad.
Yeah.
There's nothing unbelievable about making a map. Now, still syncing the map applies after the location of whatever it's supposed to indicate is moved once or twice. Okay, that's where it falls.
Hold on, you guys got it all wrong. Wiki there. Wiki. God- You see, you guys gotta understand. When he grabbed the Allspark, he converted it to a small little cube like Bumblebee, and then he brought it to the Hoover Dam, and then made it big again.
So what you're saying is Sam was a pretender.
That's correct.
Yeah,
He's
even
a
though Michael Bay
pretender
said, I bet you
Grower,
this
not a
this
shower.
isn't in the article, but I bet you Michael Bay said, Soundwave's not going to change shape because there's no mass shifting, and yet the whole Allspark mass shifted. Okay. Okay. And Michael Bay wonders why I want to punch him in his mouth.
You know what? I need
See
a
this?
background for this. And there we go.
Prime.
There you go, Murder
Yeah, so
Prime.
this-
I'll kill you all.
Give me your face.
This next one, number 9. This is a bit nonsensical too. At the end of the first film, Optimus Prime was the Allspark in his chest, destroying himself and the Allspark. With him and the Allspark gone, Prime, the Decepticons would then leave Earth alone for some reason. That's not a thing. He didn't think that would make them leave the Earth alone.
That's why he called reinforcements to Earth.
Yeah, he destroyed it so that he couldn't use it anymore. That's what happened in the movie. It's like either they set it off or I destroy it, so I'm going to destroy it. And now I'm also sending a signal and calling my guys here. At no point did he say it was going to make them all leave the Earth for some reason. In fact, in the start of the next movie, they're like, "Yeah, we formed a group specifically to stop the guys that have been coming." You know.
So CBR is not paying attention to the.
Yeah. Like, I could understand the later ones, but that's like the first movie, right?
See,
that
hold
one
on.
was pretty clear.
Hold on, but what I don't get, the Allspark gives life. So if you're putting this cube into your chest, how's it going to take your life? Isn't it supposed to make you stronger and give you life or whatever, power you up? Isn't it like the opposite?
You're supposed to be like an overload, basically.
Like what happened to Scourge.
Yeah. Too much of a good
the
thing.
Scourge died. I don't know. I'm just saying, it's like it's supposed to give you life, not take life. Or am I overthinking it? Because my name is Michael too. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, this one they just straight up changed a thing, so this one's valid. Bumblebee can sometimes talk, and then other times he can't. This whole thing here basically just was like, yeah, he gets his voice back at the end of the first movie, and then just doesn't have it again in the next movie.
And what is it too with the Bay movies when you hear a character speak for the first time? Most times they got an English accent. Like, why the heck did Bumblebee pop up at the end of the first movie with an English accent? And then what really got me was okay.
Bloody Queen Optimus Prime.
At the end of what was it? The fourth movie with the Dinobots, and the Dinobots transform and they start talking. They all have English accents. Okay, that is the totally opposite of what a Dinobot is supposed to sound like: big and dumb versus sophisticated and English.
Yeah. Most of them, it doesn't make much sense. Bumblebee sounding like that at the end of the first movie. He was being voiced by a guy called Mark Ryan. And Mark Ryan was the guy who was on set with the actors doing the dialogue for the Transformers, so that they'd have somebody to play off of during their scenes. So they gave him a couple of lines as Bumblebee at the end as like a thank you for his work. So that's the one reason why he sounded like that at the end.
Okay, that's not first a very good reason. And number one. Number two, the only voice for Bumblebee is Dan Gilvezan. Moving on.
I'm going
to earn this murder prime.
Is Sam Witwicky dead?
I hope so. Man, I hope so.
I never understood this one either. People are always like, oh, he's on his picture is
Anthony,
there.
hold on.
Amongst...
Wait, Anthony, hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Sam Witwicky, played by Shia LaBeouf, is the title character for the first three films, having a loose resemblance to Spike Witwicky. Destined to be part of the franchise. Left the role after the third film. It is heavily implied that he died, but it is still uncertain. That's something I've never got. People say
when?
There's a bit in The Last Night where his photo is like amongst the display of stuff that Anthony Hopkins has from like the Order of Wiccans, and people look at that photo and go, "Oh, that means he's dead." I've never understood that. Maybe I missed the context of that scene, but I don't think so. I mean, sure, maybe he's not around anymore, but I don't think there's anything in the films that say he died. They just don't talk about wherever he went.
I mean, if they were really on point, they would have said that about Shockwave for the first movie.
Yeah.
Well, he finally got a job. That's what happened.
Yeah, you're right.
Speaking of
got married and had kids.
Well, the point was he was all pissed off because he couldn't find a job, right? I saved the world and no one's giving me a job, so now you got a job. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go. This is what's brought up earlier. The Transformers have accents. The whole notion of Transformers having accents just doesn't make sense. British, Australian, Japanese, they're all from Cybertron anyway. It would have been interesting to coordinate their vehicle brands to their specific accent. So Bumblebee should have had a German accent. What is this guy talking about?
And it's killing me. It's like, okay, so they're complaining that Transformers have accents. Either this person has no idea of G1 in terms of Skylinks, Outback, and a few other characters that had accents.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on.
Here we go.
Hold on.
Blur.
All I'm gonna say, they got Outback right.
They got Outback right.
Okay. What's it called again? The blooming onions there, okay?
Blooming onions?
Yeah.
Put another shrimp on the Barbie? What are you talking about? What?
Yes, Bo Luke. Bo and Duke Luke.
That's what they say there. Okay.
Listen, I'm too tired for this, okay?
Apparently.
Okay.
Here's what I hate about the accents in the movies. They play the accents like it's a character development. Like that's supposed to be character development. An accent is not character development.
It's
It is not character depth. Okay?
they had Anthony Anthony Hopkins, whatever the fuck his name is on
God, you were tired
on the movie.
It's
So,
Sir Anthony Hopkins.
yeah, so
put
they
some
had
respect
like,
on his name.
Respect his name.
Put some respect on my name.
Yeah.
Are you done or is we through?
so what,
Don't make
so
it
what
Anthony
happens?
Hopkins eat you with a wine, cherry wine.
Exactly right.
I will say one thing about the accents. Well, I'll say two things. First of all, who's to say that Cybertron's a big planet? Maybe it has its own different regions with different accents, and what we're hearing is the translated version of that. You know?
I would have thought it would have been beep boop bop beep.
Yeah, but like it's a translation convention, like how there's a yeah. There's a specific region of Japan that whenever they translate Japanese stuff into English, people from that area always get Southern accents because it's like a country bumpkin place over there. So they always give them Southern accents in English. There's a famous bit from an early episode of the new Doctor Who show when it came back. Yeah. And so he was played by Christopher Eccleston at the time, who had a very northern British accent. And there's a exchange of dialogue where it's like, "You're from space, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "So why do you sound like you're from the north?" And then he goes, "Lots of planets have a north."
Wow.
Yeah. So think about that on the accents question,
Mm-hmm. Well, RJ Eagle says, I think Shia LaBeouf was imprisoned by Sector 7. And says Einstein Wheeljack had some sort of accent.
I remember like reading a wiki note about how his accent is like nobody's really sure what it's supposed to be.
And let's see, number 5, the Autobots had a rule of not harming humans in the first film, but proceed to break this rule in subsequent films.
The humans were pretty scummy in their defense. So
I don't think that's a plot error. That's a moment. Like Optimus goes 4 movies without harming a human, and then Age of Extinction, he's again like, "Oh, we don't harm humans." And then finally, at one critical moment, Kelsey Grammer is about to kill Marky Mark, and he finally shoots a guy. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a moment. That was the one exception. And like they make a big deal out of it.
Well, I feel like that's like choosing a stranger over your friend. If you got someone ready, especially if you take friend as the meaning of family of your own choosing, you're gonna ask someone, "Hey, you're gonna let this random asshole kill your best friend or your best human friend?" No, you're gonna kill their ass if it means your friend survives.
Basically,
I think they got confused with Dark Side of the Moon when the Decepticons were disintegrating humans there. I thought that was pretty cool, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and again, like, not to give the writing of Age of Extinction too much credit, but Optimus sort of goes through the ringer about this because he stops fighting Lockdown to do that, and then Lockdown gets the jump on him, and then his friends have to come bail him out.
Well, then, hold on. If you really want to get, I don't know, technical or semantic, like, when Optimus Prime was fighting Lockdown, like, why is Mark Wahlberg there? Like,
to get in the way?
Yeah, like what was the whole purpose of him like trying to get into a fight between these 2 huge robots, or even that one guy that was standing next to him then disappeared after? But I don't get it. Like, if I was Mark Wahlberg and I see Prime and Lockdown fighting, I'm like running the opposite way from them.
This question has been relevant since 1984 when Sparkplug decided it was cool to let his son hang out with the giant robots.
It's funny you said that because I'm thinking when, Spike decided he was going to go like punch Frenzy in the back of his head.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to get this guy. I'm going to rabbit punch him. He's not going to see me coming."
All right. When the Autobots are being hunted, they don't update their vehicular appearances for some reason. Probably because it takes a lot of energon to do so. And I'm figuring if they're on the run, they don't have access to regular energon. So
yeah, And this has been brought up before. The movies never show any reason why they can't just scan new vehicle modes, and they just kind of do it arbitrarily. So I'd give them like a half point for this one, because they never give us any kind of reason why they don't just do that all the time.
I got a reason.
Easy product placement. It's not the
Yeah,
right time in the
I just-
movie for it.
Yeah,
Hold
that's
on,
the
I
real
got a
reason, right?
Wait, I got a reason.
Go on.
No one's gonna ask why.
He's loading. He's slow right now. You got
No,
he's
yeah,
got
yeah.
load.
Wheel.
Well,
He's pulling,
hold on.
pulling the lawnmower.
Why is that, Mike? What's your reason, Mike? Well, the reason why. Thanks for asking. The reason why it's called a movie. Like you can't give all details in a movie, right? So like certain things are going to be looked over.
Oh no, man! If Star Wars fans can come up with how many pounds each ship weighs for whatever reason tying into the plot, man, we can figure out why Transformers don't change their alt mode appearance. Yeah, that's not such a big stretch compared to like Star Wars and Star Trek guys and the science they have to have for the movies.
I think in RID 2015 they show Optimus at the start of the second season, and they're in the Arctic trailing some escaped Decepticon, and he scans some and Optimus is already weak because he's been depowered from the Primes from the fight where they powered him up to help him fight Megatronus, and then the start of season 2 they're like, okay, we need our powers back because Megatronus has been defeated and he's weak already. And then after he scans the vehicles that have Arctic camouflage, like Windblade and Sideswipe and Drift, notice, hey, you seem weaker now. And he's like, yeah, it's, and already weakened because of, losing the power of the Primes, and then, rescanning a new, this Arctic camouflage is, weakened me even more.
It makes
so at least
sense.
not in the movies, but in Transformers media, there is a
correlation in
for
between
that.
them changing their alt mode and their energy level. Yeah.
Okay, so hold on.
Yeah.
Why did Luke Skywalker wear the same pajamas during The New Hope?
Because it happens over the course of like a day, and he doesn't have time to change.
Yeah.
Number one, number two, his costume changed for a reason, movie to movie, as he went kind of like from light to dark.
Dark. Yeah, I know about all that nonsense. Okay,
Yeah.
Star Trek. They never changed clothes either, too.
They changed
Yeah,
their
that's because they're on
uniforms all
duty.
the time.
Just like Scooby Doo, they
I
all
mean,
look
think
the same.
about OG, the original series, the red shirts die all the time. In the next generation, the red shirts are Captain Picard and people his equals. So there was a change of how F the red shirts. You were either F in the first season or you're like
together
top
not
of the
helping.
crop.
Yeah, but then
The
look at
second.
Dukes of Hazzard and the A-Team. Like, Hannibal and
Yeah.
all of them, they all wore
And
the
Knight
same
Rider.
outfits.
Yep.
Yeah.
Michael Knight always had the same leather jacket, and Bone Luke always had the same yellow and blue shirts. They even lent it to like their cousins.
Wait a minute.
The cousins had to come in and raid their wardrobe, man. That was awkward.
Oh, yeah, and I forgot. Transformers were like a cartoon for the most part.
Well, we're not talking about the cartoon. We're talking about the movie. And number three, the Allspark seemingly only creates Decepticons. Yeah, we noticed. Thanks. That's some deep writing there. That's some deep thinking there.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that they only create Decepticons. I always read it as they create feral, newborn, wild animals.
Yeah,
I thought
I
whoever
agree with that.
hold it. I thought whoever hold the Allspark, that's what they created, like more of their own fraction.
No, because like in the second one, all unless Sam Witwicky is a villain, as he accidentally turns his whole house into robot animals.
He dropped it.
So
like
the
the
sizing of the
free toaster and all
Transformers
that
is
crap.
off.
Yeah, welcome to the Transformer world, man.
Yeah, there's an entire article on the Transformers wiki called Scale, and it's just about how scale in Transformers has always been messed up, and all the different ways it's always been messed up.
Yeah.
That's one where I'm like,
Boy,
this is
these guys are real on top of it. Yeah, it only creates
I know.
Decepticons and the sizing is off. I mean, these guys are brilliant. I mean, where did he come up with this stuff? It's almost like there wasn't 40 years worth of this crap before. Huh.
Yeah. I give the. It's called drama. Sometimes you want Optimus to be bigger. Sometimes you want him to be smaller, based on the shot. You know.
There are way too many Decepticons compared to Autobots.
No shit.
Why is that a problem?
Yeah, it's called the underdog.
Yeah, I was about to say that's to create the underdog situation of the Autobots.
That's just textual. With the ratio so off, it seems as though the Autobots are a dying breed. Well, that's kind of the idea, yeah.
Was CBR going to write an article next that there's only like 10 Avengers and 500 army guys coming at them? You need army guys to knock down in these movies.
Victor Caroli, if anything, this is better than how G1 handled it. Victor Caroli was like, in the first episode, they've hunted the Autobots to the edge of extinction, even though in the 84 line, there was like double the amount of Autobots. So if anything, them being outnumbered in the movies makes a little more sense.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was a CBR moment.
Yeah, I'll give them like 1.5 of those 10 things as being valid. Yeah. The one that I'll give to them is Bumblebee did just stop talking again for no established reason. And the other thing is like they didn't say anything about in the movies about why they can't scan new alt modes all the time. That's like a half point because you can infer that.
Yep.
They forgot to fix his flux capacitor. That's why.
Yeah,
it wasn't making 1.21 gigawatts. Not enough energon to create it.
Oh, wow.
And again, never gonna get old. I love that.
Sweet. Almost hit the 10 p.m. mark. I think next week we're not going to be on since it is our Easter weekend holiday.
We all got stuff to do.
Jesus Day.
With the week after, we're going to have a guest, but I will reveal that during the week, and during the following week, I'll reveal who our guest is. And so before
are we sending off right now?
All day. Friday and Saturday, we make 30 gallons of burgoo for Halloween, for Easter.
I was gonna be like, you're getting it in early, eh?
Actually, explain that to anyone watching or listening. What is burgoo?
Burgoo is a central United States. It's a wild game soup. It's a cabbage and tomato base. It's got sheep, deer, chicken, pork, beef,
roadkill,
all the meats.
Yeah, but it's all ground up. Everything in it is ground up. So it's awesome, but it takes about 8 to 10 hours to cook, and we cook it in a great big 30-gallon kettle over open fire. And that's how we do our Easter celebration. We have an egg hunt and everything going on for the kids and the adults.
What do you have that's big enough to cook a 30-gallon? Is that where you do your sacrifices at?
That's right. But it's a different kettle.
Well, the other kettle.
It's a different kettle, so it's clean. You know, it's sanitary.
And RJ Ugo says, conclusion, CBR sucks. We agree. There'll be more great.
I got to do a couple reveals here.
Oh, go ahead.
I got the reveals. Hold on, I got the reveals.
Give him the screen.
Jace, there we go.
Tor's been patiently waiting all night, so let's give him the...
All right, first up is these Dukes of Hazzard, like really minty condition, and they're so minty that they're actually kind of hard to get out of the cardboard sleeve that they're in. But they're LCD watches from like 1981, and so man, are they minty!
Nice.
Ooh, look at that.
Generally doing the two wheelies.
I see what you did there, Arlani.
Nice.
I feel like I'm sure you don't want to take it up, but I'm like, you should wear it once, just to like one convention or something, and then put it back.
Oh no,
forever.
I've got the if I ever make it to like a Dukes Fest, which is getting kind of harder and harder to find anymore. I've actually got the Knickerbocker wrist racer. It's a kind of like a toy car that wraps around your wrist on a watch band, but it comes in like a plastic container, and you click the back of it, and it pops out with a ramp, and the car comes out on the ramp.
Ooh, that's
I
cool.
had one of those. I had
It's,
one of those when I was a kid.
it's
Nice.
it's called a wrist racer.
Yep.
I forgot about those.
Yep.
I remember those.
Yep.
There it is.
Yeah. Wow.
Ooh.
Did that one spark?
I got the car still.
No, it's wind up. That's right. That's right. You wound it up. You wound it up here. You released it by this, and then a ramp comes out. And you kind of hold your wrist down close to a table. It doesn't fit around my fat wrist anymore. So when I do a video on it, I'm actually going to have the wife wrap it around her wrist. But yeah, those are Knickerbocker wrist racers. But and then the second reveal is I didn't have in the G1 collection any kind of boxed G1 jets. Yeah, I didn't have none of the Seekers boxed.
Nice.
The box. No, this is original.
Oh, nice.
The box isn't in perfect shape, as you can see. But the bubble, finding them with the bubble is really hard to find. Like you could find them boxed all day long, but finding it with the bubble or the blister, that's getting into big money when you start. So I really got it today when I talked the guy down to $100 on this.
Wow.
Holy.
Like that wouldn't be a bad. I feel like if they reissued like Ramjet in a box at Walmart, it would already be like 70-ish bucks anyway. So like that's a really good deal for a vintage one.
Now, like I said, it's not in good shape, so I'm obviously not going to send it out to Cass to have him grade it for any reason.
Like I don't need you to judge me. You take it like really personally.
Like a murder prime moment there for a second.
Sorry, flashbacks.
Did you get that shockwave you're talking about? Was it
No.
shockwave?
No, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to buy it if it wasn't G1. And the guy was honest about it. He said it was a reissue, but he couldn't tell me where the reissue was from. And I couldn't remember ever seeing a reissue. So I'm glad you guys, straightened that out for me. I actually went back to the table after I took pictures of it. I went to the table first and then messaged you guys about it. Then went back to the table, took pictures, left again, and then went back to the table again to tell him what you guys had said. I'm pretty sure I'm that guy's kid's godfather now. We've been talking so much today.
Yeah, and how much you paid for that? Hold on. Did I see it correctly? It was like $60?
Well,
Yeah, I think that's
for it.
Yeah, that's what he paid for it. He had 50 or 60 on it, and he had that and a reissue Prime there, and the Prime was gone the third time I went back, so somebody snagged the reissue Prime. But like I said, he was honest about it. He told me there were reissues.
I gotta open up like an American account and get you guys to buy me this stuff, man. Honestly.
Yeah, but you remember this is in American dollars, so it's actually like 300 Canadian.
No,
Before tax.
Yeah.
Before shipping.
Yeah.
I'll still take it.
And then taxed on the shipping.
Boy, I got hit on that this week. I sold my my sealed Omega Supreme and went
The
to mail
G1?
that bastard.
Sealed?
No,
Oh.
the Siege one, the great big
Okay.
one. Guy was looking for it to complete some diorama that he was making for his kid that's in a wheelchair. Sob story. I cut him a deal because he's going for like $475 on eBay right now.
Oh wow.
And so I sold it to him for $350. They got him a deal, $300. I figured $50 for shipping. It cost me $104 to ship that son of a bitch.
Jesus.
Where was he?
In California.
Ah, okay.
Oh, that's why.
Even then, holy crap.
Yeah, I like the shit.
That's not Titan class, right?
That was the cheapest mail that I could put out. With $500 insurance on it.
Oh, because it must have been because the insurance. I remember like a year ago I
the
sold
insurance
like a.
was only $9. Insurance was only $9. It was
I remember
because
like a
of
year
the
ago I
size.
sold this huge remote controlled plane. I mean, the box was probably almost 4 foot, 5 foot long. I mean, it's huge, and it only cost me like $130 to ship. And the box was huge.
This one was over 22 inches long for the box, so that put it into a different category. And because it was over 20 pounds, because Omega Spring was 26 pounds, I think it was. I've got the receipt on my phone.
What was he made of lead?
No,
Must be the lead.
It's the Titan class. It's the biggest outside of.
This isn't the 70s.
Outside of HasLabs, it's the biggest size class you can get, a Transformer. That's why.
Yeah, these are like small children sized.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, $100 to ship it.
That's crazy. Anybody else have something to reveal? I got something to reveal.
Oh,
no, I couldn't find mine. I got a letter opener that is Grimlock's sword.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah,
So
I don't know where it's at. I thought I brought it up here, but I guess I left it downstairs.
So this past what was the last weekend, we had our smaller version of Comic-Con in Toronto, where my work is. The bigger one is Fan Expo, right? So I was able to come across a few comic books that it kind of inspired me, because I'm starting to get the new comic book series of the Energon crossover between G.I. Joe and Transformers. But as everybody's aware, they've done this before. And so I was able to pick up the first issue of DW, Transformer G.I. Joe.
Dreamwaves, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I read that last year.
And it was the first issue, and they actually have another reprint of that first issue, which I thought, hey, bring me back, man. Right? That was pretty cool, I thought.
Oh,
and then I got issue number 2, and I think issue number 2 cover it's pretty wild. I know Professor D will like this. Look at that, eh?
Baroness and Destro.
I was about to say, I like it because of Baroness.
No, but look how gangster that is.
Yeah, Baroness is in the
That's awesome.
current Duke ongoing miniseries. I think she appears at the end of the second issue.
So that G.I. Joe miniseries, that Dreamwave one, that one was kind of interesting because it's a period piece. It's an alternate universe where this all happened in World War II. Like Cobra Commander and Cobra Rose, like kind of instead of Germany almost. And you know, it's the 40s, and all the Joes and Cobras are all soldiers in World War II, and then the Transformers get discovered and get involved. So they all get like World War II alternate modes instead of the traditional ones.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
the setup.
Yeah, I didn't open it up yet. I don't think I am, to be honest with you.
It's probably like Dreamwave's output was not great, but I think that's probably one of the better things they did.
I just
in
love
general.
the covers. Yeah, I know, but I love the covers, and now I'm starting to look for the Marvel, like, you know, the 80s version of G.I. Joe versus what's called Transformers. Yeah, so I can have like all the different variations of it, right?
Yeah, or there were 2 of them. There was this mini series they did in like 86, 87, I think, and then in the early 90s there was the crossover that started Generation 2 going.
Yeah.
What character is that again? Oh yeah, Zartan.
Zartan turned into Charlie. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, take him out of the way, and it's him.
Oh, now Zartan turned back into Charlie.
There he is.
No, but you know what? I'm still gonna do what Bill showed last time when I was showing the original ones, the other comic books, right? I definitely want to pair those up with the G.I. Joe figures.
Professor D says, yes, Mr. O, that issue 2 comic cover is definitely gangster.
See? Told you.
And RJ Eagle says, wait a second, is that Hearts of Steel's Transformers comic?
No, that's G.I. Joe versus Transformers. Hearts of Steel was something else. IDW did that. It was a little 4-issue thing where it was set in like the turn of the centuries. Like whenever Mark Twain was alive, because he shows up in it. and all the Transformers change into like steampunk stuff, like steam locomotives, like a steamship, stuff like that. A lot of third-party toys have been made of those designs because they never made any official ones.
And I just sent you a picture of some fan art on the Children of the Primus Messenger.
Okay, let me get to it.
I don't remember if it was RJ Eagle that was saying that he likes comics as well or as earlier, but if he likes steampunk, such as that Hearts of Steel Transformers, a good steampunk comic series is Lady Mechanica, and there's been miniseries of it on and off since 2012 or so.
Oh, nice.
Oh, we got RJ Eagle. Speaking of RJ Eagle, we got a comment from him. It says, Orlati didn't know Dreamwave did a G.I. Joe comic. Guess what?
Yeah.
Me either, too.
Just that one.
Until I ran into it.
Oh, you know what's funny? Okay, so they did 4 issues, I think, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And then they were going to do a sequel miniseries, and they put out one issue of the sequel, and then Dreamwave went bankrupt. So,
aw, she got lice.
I love the fact that Bombshell's sitting on her head.
Yeah, that is cool.
Oh, Macrotron, I follow him on Twitter. He does a lot of really good Transformers art. He likes to like reinterpret characters and come up with new designs. If anybody's on Twitter, follow him.
I think he had a funny Megatron where like Soundwave is holding Megatron, and Megatron's like half transformed, so the actual gun bearer is just him transformed as a robot, but the waist down is like, the holster of the gun. And then there's a similar picture where you have Starscream holding Megatron all, gun size, but same sort of deal, but it has the gun, that body part trigger facing the viewer. And he's just looking at it like, what the hell? And Megatron's just like, ah.
RJ Eagle says, Hearts of Steel Shockwave was a beast of a steamship.
Yeah, he was a whole steamship.
What is Sandbach Arts? What do you have coming up for the week?
Trying to think. Finishing up some project for... you could either do like autism awareness or mental health awareness. I think I went with the mental health awareness thing. I gotta finish the piece for that. I think I got some appointment this week. I need to look up when that is. But I've been meaning to I'll probably just wait until I get the last stage of it. That's the one painting done, and then I'll just post all tree steps as like a set of tree posts or something.
Nice.
Cool. Toy Warp. What do you have coming up for the week?
I'm eventually going to put out the video for Black Gold, the next in line for the Bigfoot line, but it's going to take a while to catch up from today's spending day at RetroCon. So be on the lookout on Toy Warp and Cruisers Motorsports YouTube channels for some shorts from RetroCon featuring Knight Rider, the Hardcastle McCormick car, or the DeLorean, or the Retro Car Show, or anything else that was there. It's all going to be in the shorts this week on Cruisers and Toy Warp.
Nice.
Lovely.
Coyote, wasn't it called the Coyote?
Yep.
I loved that car. That scene where they drive underneath of the semi, that it just stuck with me forever.
Yeah, it kind of stuck with me too, and then I did it in a Fiero.
And lived to tell the tale.
Yes.
I don't know. Where I live at is a big farming community, so I don't know if y'all have ever seen what they call a row spreader. It's the tractor that's got the big high rise, and it's got the big arms that come out like this and they spray. Yep. But it's tall enough that they can go over the top of the corn stalks. I've rode my motorcycle, shot right through underneath of them going down the highway before, and I knew the farmer in it, and I've heard him talk about the time this guy shot out from underneath of him on a motorcycle and he like to shit himself. And so I've never told him that it was me. But back when I had my Orange County chopper, I went right underneath though. I just pulled up behind him and I was like, And I crept up and I was like, I can make this.
Yeah.
And so I just hammered down and shot out, hoping to
Nice.
God he wasn't going to
Here on
turn
the
while I was
Children
going
of
midway through it.
Primus, we do not condone dangerous driving.
But we do over at Cruisers Motorsports, so go subscribe to Cruisers Motorsports. We definitely condone dangerous driving over there.
Yep,
Yeah.
Cruisers Motorsports on
Us
YouTube.
here, we assume no legal responsibility.
Yeah. Especially if you're living in Canada, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, actually.
Well, Charlie, do you have any figures coming up for next week?
No, just waiting on the Takara missing link one with the trailer, the new Optimus Prime. Hopefully it gets here soon.
Hold on, Charlie. How much you paid for that?
That one was like $119.
Okay.
That's funny. He's 118, or you see her lady in that the math meme, you know, with all the numbers popping up, trying to convert American to Canadian. Yeah.
Well, 119, so add $1, so say 120. That's automatically 240 for us, and that's before shipping.
Yeah, but you know what? I saw it here for 170. Right? So.
Wait, we're here.
No, online. When I was looking at a Canadian website to show, like, you know, people that are selling Transformers, and I was looking at it, I was like, 170.
This one's from Show Z. They're sold out, but yeah.
All right, yeah, I gotta open up that American account and send you guys the money.
Anytime.
Mr.
Contact me.
There you go. Mr. Magnus, any figures coming up for the week?
I have no idea. Right now, all my accounts are frozen since I showed you what happened.
Yes.
So right now, every account that I have is frozen and under review. So for those of you who don't know, I got hacked, and by the time it was all said and done, $2,700 was withdrawn from my account. Now, it did not pay, because when it happened, I track pennies on this. Anything that hits my account, I know. And I was expecting a text message, and I was kind of in a bind, and I got that first notice, and it sounds just like my text message going off. But then it started ram firing, ding, ding, and I was like, who in the hell is blowing me up? And I looked, and they were withdrawals coming out of my account. And they would deposit 40 cents and then withdraw 300. Deposit 40 cents and withdraw 116. Withdraw or deposit 40 cents, and that's what they were doing, back and forth, seeing if the account was still active. And so it was a war program, and in about, I want to say, but less than a minute, there was 27 deposit and withdrawals. But while it was going on, I was on the phone with my bank, and so they stopped them from paying. They're still in cyberspace. They were withdrawn from my account, but they didn't go to an account. But now, tomorrow, I have to go in and show them that I didn't do it, so that they put the money back into my account.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm surprised you have to go into the branch, but it's that is crazy. I mean, there's many issues of that, and such issues have actually gone back a couple of decades where, people they'll access and pull accounts out for minimal amounts, so someone will just think it's a service charge and overlook it and not realize it's just these little charges over multiple accounts getting pulled all over the place. I mean, hopefully, it's all resolved by tomorrow, because banks are insured for that type of incident. So,
correct. Well, like I said, and the money didn't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It was taken from my account. It's now in this holding account to pay the bill. Mm-hmm. But I'm declaring that bill does not exist from me.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I actually have to go in and prove to them. Which I think is bullshit, but
yeah. Well, let us know how it goes. And fear of courage.
So yeah, next week is going to be all about getting my accounts unfrozen.
Right. Fear of courage. What's coming up for the week?
Well, I just finished my photos. In fact, let me finally get this light off. There we go. I look a little more human. I just finished my photos for what'll be out on Friday, which is the little red guy here, Burning Cheetor, which is a item you could only get in Japan if you pre-ordered a specific robot or if you spent X amount of money in a store. So like a rare campaign item, little Cheetor that changes into a sword in clear red. I feel like my explanation for what this is when I do the write-up is going to be longer than the actual review because of how simple of a thing it is. But yeah, I got lucky, grabbed this in that same deal where I grabbed Studio Series Rumble while we were going back and forth. So I have a tiny little thing that a lot of people won't get because you have to do specific things in Japan when Rise of the Beasts was out to get one. So, I'll write it up. I'll give everybody a look. Least I can do.
What's it called? Flaming Cheetos?
Burning Cheetor.
Oh, Burning Cheetos. Okay.
I thought the same thing. It's even about the same color.
Yeah.
Being cheesy.
Yeah.
Something like similar with the Kingdom Optimus Primal mode I saw.
Yeah, Burning Optimus Primal. They did him in clear red also.
Sound like some STDs there.
I was about to say, Lottie, get out of my head. So if you get last person I heard is if he's got a burning Optimus, I think you should see it.
They make a cream for that. They make a cream for that.
Well, on that note, thank you to everyone, and thank you to all the comments, and please like the video, subscribe to our channel.
Aren't you supposed to show something?
Oh, are we about to show something?
No, I sent you a text. You normally you ask me, hey, what are you doing, Orlati, or I'm Mr. Tired.
Well, you were tired. I wasn't going to bother you. He was being gentlemanly.
Yes.
Spin has a show to run. He's not going to be on his phone.
Now that I've noticed it, why don't you explain it before we sign off, and I will pull it up while you're explaining it.
All right. So, okay, obviously everybody knows I'm a Transformer head, but I'm also a hockey guy.
thing.
So I train, I coach, and all that stuff, and I actually run a minor hockey association as well too. And I got a website called Hockey Needs. But what I did was another friend of mine, which Spin knows as well. He's going to be one of our suppliers when it comes to clothing. I started with Leon. We started our own hockey gear or wear. And so if anybody is into hockey or like anything that has to do with hockey, check us out at Versus, and you can get these cool, what's called hoodies, hats, t-shirts, long sleeves that has to do with hockey related, jargon.
Puck first.
How much is shipping?
Link in our messenger.
Yeah, and that's in case you're wondering who's that kid. That's my son.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I've never felt more sorry for any kid in my life.
It's called
Jesus.
Children labor. And I can get away with it because when the CRA, meaning the IRS, the Canadian version, when they come knocking on my door, I may, hey, he's my kid. He's a dependent.
This is
Put a
true.
link in our messenger thing.
I'm putting it in right now.
So there's more things, but there's obviously the homepage there. But yeah, and this is something that Spin and I we've been talking about. We're gonna try to do something like this for our Children of Primus to do some clothing line as well.
Come out with a shirt that says "What the Puck."
There are 3 T-shirt companies within like 20 minutes of me. So y'all get me a logo and a phrase, and I can get us some American prices too.
Perfect.
Are they Are they good on prices? Because I tried to have cruiser shirts made, and like 70 of them were going to cost me like $1,300 freaking dollars because they had too many colors on them.
Well, yeah. The more colors you put on them, the more they're going to be. But we got Sons of Carpenter. I'm a union carpenter, And my group of apprentices, we got Sons of Carpentry shirts. We got 47 of them made for $120, I think.
I might send you the Cruisers logo. Jeez.
And
There you go.
these were silk screened backs, silk screen logo on the pocket, and then above the pocket we had our names all embroidered on them.
Oh, geez, embroidery's expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like $18, $20 a shirt.
Toy Warp, I'll have to ask what the place that's near me, because every year they do a t-shirt contest with the artists group I'm in, and this year they're not doing silk screen, so we can do as many colors as we want, and I'll have to ask who they're using. And
I like to keep my business local and try to keep it off the internet when it comes to stuff that I'm gonna be selling on my channel. But man, the local guys are just so expensive with their stuff.
Well, you're in Florida too.
Well,
Like
RJ,
We have
California, you're just
for you, Total War. We also have a trophy company in our area that we get all of our trophies for our car shows and stuff up here real cheap.
I get it cheap too. I earn them.
Cool. RJ Eagle says some sick Garolati. He's throwing up some gang symbols. And
I earn them.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Hey, maybe you can like get some YouTube ones. Like we can get like fake ones and put them on behind us and say, "Hey, look, we're YouTube influencers now."
Content creators. That's what they call them now. Yeah. And RJ Eagle says, Magnus, I hope everything works out with the accounts. You shouldn't have to go to into the branch. Just the unusual activity on the account should be enough.
They told me I've got like 6 forms that I've got to fill out, though, so I do have to go in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It might just be because it's of such a big amount. Because I know my mom, she had similar happen to her, but it was like maybe no more than 300. And you're talking about, what, 5 digits?
2,700. 2,700.
Okay, so 4 digits.
Yep. Yeah.
That might, maybe it's just the difference amount. I think my mom still had to go to the. I think she just went to the just because it was easier than doing it over the phone. Plus, she lives like in Enid, Ohio, which is the middle of nowhere, so it's just easier to just go to the bank. But I'll have to ask what she did if I talk to her soon. If you have any problems.
Cool.
Nice.
I'm going to throw this into the comments. Yes, definitely check out Mr. Olati's website for the sports gear. And we should share that around within the other groups as well. So as we round out for the evening, I thank all of you guys for coming through as usual once again, and I thank everyone in the comments and to all our subscribers and everyone liking our channel. So we are going to be off for the next weekend since it is our Easter weekend, but we will be back the following weekend, and we should have a guest for that weekend, which I will mention in the upcoming promos. So until that time. And thank you, everyone. The secret. And to
wait, hold on.
Hold on.
Subscribe.
Hit
the notification button.
Hit the notification.
Make some comments. And since we're off next week, there's a whole bunch of other videos you can, rewatch if you want or if you missed any.
This is true.
Okay.
I noticed yesterday was the 1 year that we did me here.
Oh, nice.
There you go. And then there's some other stuff at the bottom of the screen here, some other icons. You can click on those and do whatever it asks too. Those doohickey things.
Yes. Subscribe
The
to
McGu-
YouTube. Find us
Yeah,
on
the-
Facebook, on Instagram.
The MacGuffin, whatever they called.
The MacGuffin.
Yeah.
Donate to our Patreon. Check out our TikTok and our Twitter.
You can't escape us. We're
bye.
everywhere.
That's it. Till all are one.
Till all are one.